Hello, and welcome to the Otaku Clubhouse. And this is Sink or Swim. What is Sink or Swim? Well, it's where we discuss anime, video games, movies, and just about whatever media catches our eye. Then give our first impressions of them. From top to bottom, we give our ratings of a swim, a tread, a float, a drowning, and at worst, a sink. Comments are always welcome, and of course, we're waiting to hear what you have to say too. Let's get into it.
3 minutes. We just watched Combatants Will Be Dispatched, an anime from the creators of Konosuba, which we like very much, and let's just get right into it. We follow the exploits of the main character named Agent 6, and that is his name as far as we know, so from now on I'm just going to refer to him as 6. He's summoned by his bosses. He works for an organization called the Kisaragi. His bosses Astaroth and Belial. Now Astaroth seems to have a crush on 6. He's some kind of Chad in this setting, and they implore him to use their evil technology to go to other worlds and not conquer them, but to establish Kisaragi bases so that they can conquer the other worlds, because something's going on. There's some plot line. They are running out of resources on Earth or something like that. They give him a companion, an android named Alice, and they go across to meet the scientist named Lilith, who then puts him into Truck-sama's cockpit, and he's transported into another world alongside Alice. This world, we learn, is called the Kingdom of Grace later, but for now it just is some desert planet where they encounter the native wildlife, a bunch of big boobs, cheerleader knights. No. Before that, they fight some Digimon, and then they encounter the locals there. Now, of course, they don't speak Japanese. This isn't some kind of chuny fucking weeb self-insert isekai. No. But using technology, they translate and they're able to communicate with these weirdo aliens, right? The aliens take them into the capital, where they see some weird shit like a fucking preserved World War I tank, and there's also other out of place artifacts, like some weird technology, because like otherwise the setting of this planet is pretty like, you know, RPG, Final Fantasy Tales, like mid-level fantasy, but they have this weird technology on this planet for some reason. We're introduced to Snow. Snow is the commander of the Knights. She's a young woman, very much like Aqua from Konosuba, and she has her really bad side that she hides from the public, just like Aqua, or just like Restarte from Cautious Hero. We're introduced to the princess. The princess seems to be like super down to earth. She likes 6 because, unlike everybody else she's ever met, he's not like super Burkoof when he's talking to her. Like, he's really chill. And she likes that for some reason. He's just a Chad, man. And you go along to the end of the episode wherein she ends up assigning him to be one of her personal retainers. And as a result, Snow has to work as a subordinate to 6. So you get your main party assembled. 6, Snow, and Alice, and the adventure continues from here. Whoa.
Yes, that is the end of the first episode.
That's the end of the anime.
Well, from some of the more harsh critics I've seen of this, that might as well have been the end of the anime, but we're only talking about the first episode here. Let's get into discussing Combatants Will Be Dispatched. What did you guys think about it?
I thought it had a bunch of cute girls in it.
Of course, just like Konosuba, character design is top notch, especially for the big boo, big boo, 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 boo.
Well, my first thought when I saw Snow was, why are you only wearing something to cover your legs? Why are you only wearing glaives?
What are you talking about?
Why are you not wearing literally anything to cover your chest at all?
They don't attack the upper body in this on this planet. It's taboo.
You also saw that there was nothing in the kingdom but a bunch of fucking old dudes,
Yeah.
so I guess that 6 comes off kind of as like fucking virile young Chad compared to all those other dudes, huh?
Yeah, it's just like the fucking Pokemon War, that Lieutenant Surge talks about. Like, they ran out of fucking men. So it's just old dudes and fucking attractive young women in the soldiers, in the army.
There seems to be 2 types of characters in this. Attractive, big-boobed woman and loli.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the characters, like, personality-wise, because, let's see here. Like, I mentioned how Snow was kind of similar to Aqua. She's also similar to Restarte from Cautious Hero. Like, they all have very similar character archetypes. There's only very slight differences. As opposed to, comparing Six and Seiya and Kazuma, they are completely different characters. And I always found that interesting. Also with Alice is kind of like Megami. Like, she's kind of like Megami in Darkness, as in she only has one joke that she keeps repeating, like, oh, I'm gonna blow myself up. But I don't know if that's gonna get old or not, because she also has this really abrasive. She is a robot, so she's kind of like cold, abrasive, but at the same time, she's trying to appear as like this cute girl, right? So that's another dichotomy of her character.
It's clear that she's meant to be the straight man to Six's outlandish parts of his personality. Though he is different from Kazuma and Seiya, it's very clear that the writer for this has a tendency to make the male character very much the central focus of the comedy. But unlike with Kazuma, where Kazuma had a serious smart assness going to him, Six has less of a smart ass and more of a dumbass personality, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good. Kazuma is a smart ass and Six is a dumbass. So there you go.
I already feel that people aren't going to get behind this immediately as fast as Konosuba, because Konosuba came out almost at the perfect time. It came out during the huge isekai explosion of like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when it felt like every other season there was 4 isekai anime, and it being such a deconstruction of the subgenre, in comedic terms, it was so much better and everybody looked at it fondly. However, when it comes to this, it doesn't seem to be satirizing any genre. It's played a bit more straightforward, despite the fact that it's still a comedy.
Yeah, and it's also weird because technically it is an isekai, but the setup for it and the premise for it is so much different than Konosuba or like any other isekai, or even Cautious Hero, because the premise is that he's going to go to different worlds voluntarily, and he's going to interact with the locals there. So I feel like there can be a lot of mileage out of that premise.
Well, we'll end up having to see. I know very little about this, aside from the fact that it's made by the Konosuba writer, but I was decently interested in the first episode. You can tell just from the gate that it's written by the Konosuba writer, because he has a tendency to move very fast with his jokes, especially when it actually gets translated into an anime. Every one of the jokes are like, bam, hit, 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 and it doesn't really give you a second to think about jokes, or in cases, if it were a sitcom, throw in a laugh track. It kind of just holds itself on to like, that was funny, let's just keep moving.
Yeah.
Aside from a very specific point in which it was honestly the most Konosuba joke, the Dick Festival joke.
Yeah.
Like I said, Six is so different from Kazuma in this sense, where he says all of his stuff with such conviction, thinking that he's the coolest guy in the room, always realizing afterwards, like, oh fuck, no, I'm actually pretty stupid, aren't I?
Right.
So it's very different. It's a very different kind of personality.
As far as the art style and the animation goes, if you've seen Konosuba, if you know what to expect, it's nothing bad. It's just They can do good action scenes actually, but mostly it's played for laughs. It's a lot of comedic shit, like Alice pulling out a shotgun out of nowhere, materializing it with a mini transporter. So he essentially has the powers of Kaname from from what the fuck is that game? Osama game? No, King's game, Darwin's game.
Jeez.
Darwin's game. See, let's not even talk about that. Oh god. But the art style for it, like you said, is very different from Konosuba and Cautious Hero. I mean, this is a JC staff series, so it's going to look good in like regular, like non-actiony stuff. And JC staff's always been good at explosions. That's one thing that they're like. That's the only thing I think that they're really known for being good at. But all of the character designs, despite the fact that they're boobed woman and loli, they all look pretty good in this art style. I mean, fucking Lilith just looks like Megumin, which I'm looking at her right now, and she just looks like Megumin, and I can't get over how much she does. That has to be intentional. There's also a direct reference to Konosuba in there.
Yeah, fucking Sixth is like, explosion, and then they just play it off like they fucking, what the fuck, the word that we use all the time.
Sandbag. Yeah, I know that word. I know that a little bit too much.
They just sandbag it and just move on, which is one of the funnier jokes.
Ultimately, it's a pretty good first episode. The only real problem I had with it was the fact that I feel that the biggest selling point of this is that it's going to be funny. Nobody's going to look at this, well, I'm not going to say that's the only selling point, but this is the selling point from my point of view. I feel that it's going to, if it continues to be funny like this, it's going to, people are going to watch it. It's going to hold a good audience. Other people might watch it for the boobs. There's a lot of boob in this. But there's not too much else in terms of animation quality or, the art's not doing anything particularly amazing, and neither is the animation. It looks fine. The music is almost totally forgettable. Like, I can't think of any tracks in there that really stuck out to me.
It might as well be non-existent.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was totally alright. Do you guys have anything else you thought about it?
The one thing I'm looking forward to, is the story aspect, because as far as Konosuba goes, it basically has no story. It's just wacky waha adventures in Deathland, and I'm wondering if this is going to be similar. Yeah, but other than that, I'm just, I guess I'm ready to give the ratings.
Hold on, I didn't get my final thoughts. Damn, I didn't even get to talk this episode, and you're already trying to end it.
I gave you copious amounts of time to jump in there, but feel free.
See, still cutting me off. He don't want to know the truth. Truth is, I'm already saying it right now. I think Snow is probably gonna be the cutest girl of the season, my nigga. I like her, bro.
Cut the cap.
What you mean cut the cap? She pretty cute, bro. And she like kind of a fucking moron too.
No, she's not stupid. She's just an asshole.
The two
it's
are
like
not mutually exclusive.
The primary personality traits of the Konosuba main four get swapped around for the characters in this anime.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, they just get jumbled up amongst the group.
Then which one is the darkness?
She hasn't been introduced yet.
Probably haven't seen.
That was it. That's all I had to add, really.
Jesus.
All right. So let's get into our ratings.
I give this one an easy swim. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think anything that this writer has made has been bad, and I would be deadly surprised if this turned out bad or mediocre somehow. So
I'm gonna have to agree. Even if you ignore the author that is by, it seems like a nice little relaxing comedy show that you can just watch and laugh a couple times too, and look at some cute girls. Seems like a simple show, and I like that.
And your rating is?
I don't know what I'm thinking.
What is there to think about?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a nice swim, nice and easy swim, leisurely swim.
Okay, and I will say I'm going to give it a tread, just for the fact that everything is good about it except for really the production values. I'm not expecting it to be like tons and tons of stuff. Like, I'm not expecting fucking UFO table to be animating fucking fight scenes there or something. But there's not really too much going on with it, but there's not anything that I could directly say is bad about this anime at all. Like, I can't think... The music isn't offensive, it's just forgettable. The animation isn't spectacular, but it doesn't make the characters look bad in any way. The art style is fine, the characters' voice acting is fine, everything is fine, and then the comedy is good. So, yeah, I have to give it a tread.
Alright, so that was our Sink or Swim for Combatants Will Be Dispatched. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, also leave a like. Share, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys in the next one.